computer. There we are. Susan, who would you like to choose next?
Eleanor, because she's very quiet.
Good morning. My name is Eleanor and I'm representing Up on Downs today. We are a charity that supports families in Hertfordshire that have a member, a child or young person with Down syndrome. So, and I would like to nominate Angela, please.
Hi there, thank you, Eleanor. I'm just writing down the details. That sounds terrific. I'm Angela, I'm based in Letchworth, and I'm getting together a library of things, which is pretty much what it sounds like. But at the moment, we're trying to gather together a wish list of items, and I'm trying to talk to as many different groups as possible, because I'm really sure that all these different groups have things that they would like to be able to borrow, to be able to access, that I would not think of by myself. So that's where we are. Anyway, I thank you, Eleanor, and I pass on to Sue Ross.
Hi, I'm Sue Ross. I'm based in Hitchin. I run a group called Lifegeta, who deal with the emotional needs of people with acquired conditions and diagnosis. So it's something like fibromyalgia, stroke like myself, depression, all that type of thing that was acquired disability. And it's addressing the emotional needs of people. We're mainly based online at the moment, but we are based in Hitchin normally. Thank you. I've got to put you on gallery view so I can see who to vote for next. Go on, Alan, it's up to you. Over to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Alan Doggett from, along with Sue, we're from Rotary Club of Hitchin Tilehouse. And one of my roles is working with Carers UK. So looking at the subject matter today, I'm quite interested to learn more about what the government are doing or not doing. And I'll nominate Sue to follow me.
So I'm Alan's partner in crime. I'm Sue Watkinson from the Rotary Club of Hitchin Tilehouse. I've also do lots of volunteering with the food provision team, the Hitchin Mental Health Recovery team, and you can usually find me at various other bits, Feed Up, Warm Up, Hitchin Pantry and stuff like that. And I will pass on to, I've got to find someone's name, Chris Kell.
Yes, hi. I'm from the Herts Inter-Faith Forum, and we bring people together from different faiths to understand each other better, to find interests of common concern. So a couple of weeks ago, we did a whole tree planting day together, which was lovely. And I wouldn't say in terms of today's theme that we've got any particular remit for health and social care, but we're all pretty elderly. And so we all have individual, personal interests in health and social care, including me. So I'm looking forward to hearing. Unfortunately, I've got to go at 10:30, so I apologise. I'll leave the meeting then.
Chris, do you want to choose someone?
Yes, sorry. Ray.
Good morning, I'm Ray Wilson from GreenCare at Norton. We run social and therapeutic horticulture for vulnerable adults across 3 sites in Letchworth. I'll probably spend a lot of this meeting on mute or with camera off because I have, as you can see there, my little girl who's got a big runny nose and she's having the day off nursery, but she seems to be more interested in you lot than Teletubbies, which is quite interesting, really. So yeah, at the minute, absolutely rushed off my feet, coping with the aftermath of the storms, which have caused incredible damage to our project. So that's why I look a bit tired and grumpy. Right, who's not been? Eleanor. I nominate you.
Oh, sorry, I've already introduced myself, but I can
Have
pass
you?
it on to Becca if you like. Becca
Oh,
Edwards.
right. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Hi, I'm Becca Edwards. I'm part of the Community Engagement Team at North Herts Council. A lot of you may have had emails from me if you've not spoken to me or met me before. Our team is here to help groups and members of the public with pretty much anything we can help you with, really. You can drop us an email at any point or speak to one of my colleagues or myself, and we'll try and help you with anything and everything. I will pass on to Agatha.
Hi, I'm Agatha. I'm from Nova Wellness, community interest company. We are based in Stevenage, and we provide well-being therapies and events, and we also go out to community. So recently we've been providing events in Letchworth and also in Stevenage outside our practice. It's the events and therapies are basically for people who need them, especially in the aftermath of the pandemic. Obviously, there are lots of people who suffer from anxiety, who are perhaps afraid to come out. So the idea is to get them into the community again and make them feel better about themselves. Okay, that's about us, and I nominate Sana.
Thank you. So yeah, my name is Sana Hassan. I am the volunteer lead from OneYMCA. So it's a brand new role, just come on board about 4 weeks ago. And so for me, this is just more of an opportunity to network, to let you know that I'm here, just to make some contacts and just to see how we can really support with volunteer recruitment and volunteering across our service areas. So we cover Hertfordshire, Bedford, and a small part of Buckinghamshire, which is High Wycombe. And we have a lot of services. So we have obviously everything really from accommodation to youth work, we have a gym, we have nurseries. So that's just kind of like a snippet of what we do. And of course, the chaplaincy service. So I'll be supporting with volunteering across the whole organisation. So for me, this is like a brilliant opportunity just to network and see what other partners are out there that I can potentially link in with going forward. Thank you. I'm not sure who's left. Is there anyone left? Or was that the last?
I think we're all here.
Yeah.
Yes, that's lovely. Yeah, and Sana, was there anything else you wanted to add? I'm curious. Do you accommodate just young men, and are you multi-faith?
Yes, so although of course YMCA, as you know, was based on a Christian ethos, we do support people of all faith backgrounds, all kinds of backgrounds. So, you know, and it's not just young men. Obviously, we would ask for them to be at least 18 years of age if it is for our accommodation service referrals. And we would ask our volunteers to also be 18 years of age. There are certain parts of our service where we may accept, you know, in conjunction with an education provider, maybe someone 16 or 17 if they want to volunteer with us. But yes, no, it's not for just young men or those of a certain faith background. It's our services are open to everyone.
So women as well?
Yes, women.
Yes,
as well.
right.
So we actually have a domestic abuse support over in Bedford. So that is one of our services. So we've diversified quite a lot, and that is actually one of the services that we offer, and like a domestic abuse program called Horizons based in the children's centres in Bedford. So yeah, we have an array of things.
Fantastic. Thank you. I mean, maybe you could put your contact details into the chat, and that goes for everyone really. If you want to pop your contact details in the chat, and then we can we'll get contact with each other if we want to. That's fine. Oh, look at that little monkey next to Ray. That's Scout, isn't it, Ray? I believe. Yeah. Look at her. Hello. Okay, so there was a number of.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
It's really to Ray. Are you similar to Growing People doing horticultural therapy, or is it completely different?
I suppose we are. We're a pretty broad church in terms of the people that access what we do, and I don't know much about growing people, but we're in the process of weaning ourselves off grants and earning our own way. We're sort of now very much a social enterprise, and we've just got a third site. We're setting up what will in effect be a market garden at Standalone Farm,
Okay.
which will supply a new shop that they're putting there, which will generate the income to keep us going, and as I say, hopefully wean us off grants. Grants are it's too erratic, it's too unpredictable, so we decided to go in that direction. But yeah,
I'd quite like to link up with you, or my president, I think, would like to link up with you. He's looking for a social enterprise and he's big on tree planting. So maybe I need to link you guys.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
No.
okay, thank you. I'll get Leah to give me all the details.
That's fine. We're a lot more about falling trees than planting trees at the minute. I'm a bit out of love with trees. They're not as good as you think they are. Not when they fall from a great height.
Oh, but you don't mean that really, Ray. You do love trees, really.
I do love. I've just temporarily fallen out with them.
Absolutely, yes. Oh, welcome to Paul. Hi there. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself, Paul?
Hi folks, yeah, sorry I'm late. I'm Paul. I work with a little community interest company called Create Community. So we have a kind of open community space in Letchworth, and we also have a space in Stevenage once a week, just supporting people who are trying to reintegrate into the community, really. And hopefully I'll be doing a bit of work with Ray sometime soon. So I'm sorry I'm late, and I might not be able to stay that long, but I'm determined to show up today because I keep saying I will.
It's not a problem, Paul. When Chris has got to pop off at past as well. What is the time? 20 past. Just to remind you that we're recording this, so anyone who couldn't come can watch it back later. So if that's all right with everyone, if I quickly just tell you what I know so far about this NHS integrated care system, and I've got to be, where's my mouse? Goodness me. I'm biting my tongue so much about my thoughts about, oh, for goodness sake. Oh dear, going across two screens. Where are you, mouse? Oh, I can't get my mouse to work on the other screen. Basically, the NHS wants to hear from people on the ground working in the community. I don't know where it's come from, but the idea is that all the agencies talk to each other, and if one person needs support from a number of different agencies, everyone shares the information with permission and under all the strict data protection and that, but it should make it better for someone who, for example, what can I say, a homeless person who gets arrested because they've shoplifted something, and so the police have got them, and then they notice that actually the doctor comes in and says this person needs some care. Then rather than just letting them sober up and pushing them back out on the street again, there's another process where they can get referred properly to mental health services and things like that. Now, I know a lot of that happens from the voluntary sector, but of course, statutory sector aren't aware of it, and nor do they seem to have. No, like I say, I've got to be careful what I say here. So anyway, it's a fantastic revolutionary idea. Let's all talk to each other and support everyone together. our CVS and a couple of others across the county are hosting a Zoom meeting on the 8th of March, a Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And they want as many representatives from local groups to come along, because the idea is of this integrated care system is that they listen to the voices of the people on the ground. That's you guys and everyone else who's in touch with what's really going on. And it at last, so I will send out further details, but there's an email, you have to email one of our colleagues, another CVS, but it's 9:30 till 11 a.m. on Tuesday, the 8th of March. If you can't make it, but you want to have an input, please also email and say that, you know, you've got things you want to say, but you can't make that meeting. But this could be a really good opportunity, especially with all the forthcoming energy hikes and you know, that's not going to hit us, and there's still people, we still have a pandemic, a virus going round. It's still there, it's still affecting us. There are people like many of you, I suspect, who didn't stop through the whole last 2 years. You kept going in one way or another, and it might be only now that it's starting to hit people, the trauma we've just all been through. Sue, are you talking to me? Because you're on mute. No, she's not. That's all right. So if we can, you know, get a foot in the door with the statutory services, and they're finally saying, we want to hear from you, then we have to seize this chance with all arms and everything else we've got as well. So that's Tuesday the 8th of March, 9:30 to 11 on Zoom, and I will share with you all the email, because I can't look at my other screen at the moment because the mouse is misbehaving. Anyone got anything they want to say on that? Or I can come to the next bit. Eleanor's got her hand up. Well done, Eleanor. That's very professional.
Sorry. Is this, from what you know of this, is this intended to only smooth over the referrals process, or is it intended to work across like outpatient services or people that are under multiple medical disciplines?
That is a question I can't answer. My hope would be yes, but that's why we need to go to this meeting on the 8th, because I don't know for sure. So if you can't make it, Eleanor, or one of your colleagues, then again, ask that very question to the email address that I will give you.
Yeah, okay. And do you know if there is any literature that we can be pointed towards to give us some sort of overview ahead of the meeting, or is that all under wraps as well?
All I have is a flyer with the nice photograph and which again I've been it's been on the Engage North Herts website page, and I'll email it out as well, but I don't have anything other than what I've told you and the instruction to encourage you all to take part or send someone along. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Alan?
Yeah, I can't profess to understand all of this, but in my association with Carers UK, they are telling me with what is being proposed. So I'm picking up a lot of stuff from them. I'm talking to different people to try and understand it. But basically, Carers UK are, I think, looking to challenge it or looking to that basically they're not happy with it. I can't tell you why they're not happy because I haven't got my head around it yet. But I think I've got some stuff I could send you that Carers UK have produced, and so I'll send that to you, Leah. And but yeah, apparently all I know is that I know they're not comfortable with it, and it's quite serious. So it'd be interesting to establish the full details.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Alan. Yeah, anything you'd like to send along to me that I can share, that'll be fantastic. Yes, because sadly a lot of these things are about ticking boxes, but either way it's an olive branch that perhaps we can make good use of somehow or other. Yeah, anyone else got anything on that? No? Okay.
Sorry, is it open to absolutely anyone, or has it got to be North Herts CVS?
Oh no, it's to anyone really. I mean, and Chris, you didn't think you were particularly involved, but actually you are. You know, if anyone you come across, whether it's your friends, colleagues who are, I mean, we're all part of this one way or another. We're all supporting people. So I think, you know, it involves everyone. Yeah, absolutely. We're looking, anyone representing a voluntary or community or not-for-profit organisation, you're very welcome. Yeah. Okay, lovely. Right, I guess, like I said, I'm gonna have to remember off the top of my head what I was gonna. There are some free workshops being offered about how to assist people struggling paying their energy bills or are worried that they're going to be struggling. Citizens Advice are doing a lot, massive amounts of work on this, and I've also been part of social inclusion partnership, which is primarily based in Stevenage, but there will be overlaps, of course, and anything of use I'll always share with everyone anyway. But so Citizens Advice are also doing as much as they can in the way of campaigning to try and show that this is something that we're all going to really struggle with. And whereas the benefit system as it is at the moment does support those who are, you know, on a really, really low or no incomes whatsoever, there's going to be a whole host of other people, as we found with people using the food banks and food rescue, people who wouldn't normally be needing it. There's going to be working people who are going to struggle with their bills. So there's all sorts of things going on. So again, I will email you details of those workshops, which again are online, little tips to help, which, yes, sorry, Alan, please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to butt in again, but we've just had a smart meter fitted. And with that, you get a small contraption, which is sitting on the side of my kitchen, which is racking up how much we're spending a day. And even I, in a position, you know, where we can afford to pay it, I am staggered and by the amount that you're having to pay. And I just fear for those, you know, who, you know, everybody, I just fear that how much it's costing, because just seeing it tick up as I walk past, and then it tells me every day how much I spent every week, and you relate that to, you know, people on low incomes, it's just frightening. Yeah,
I've avoided getting one of those because it would put my anxiety levels through the roof. You know, it's just and that's the thing, isn't it? You one hand you want to watch what you're spending and that, but on the other hand, you can be careful and not, you know, be looking at this meter ticking over all the time. It's a very tricky one. Yeah, we've just got to keep supporting each other, keeping in touch. If we come across people that need extra help, again, use the network to, and as Becca said, the community engagement team at North Herts Council are also fantastic at signposting and letting people know where there are grants and various funding bits available. Oh, Chris has got to go. Thank you for coming, Chris. It's really nice to see you. We'll see you again. So, Sue Ross, did you want to chip in?
No, I was just giving you a clap because you said about the anxiety.
Oh,
about things, and that, like, Lifegeta is all about the emotional needs of people. So about the anxiety that smart meters put, again, like you say, it's a double-edged sword. with wanting to know what you spend and the anxiety it brings. So I'll just give you a clap.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
How lovely. Oh, I've gone all warm now. Or perhaps that was just a hot flush. I don't know. Oh, has Paul come back again? Where are we? Did we lose Paul? We must have done. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Paul. All okay there? Hopefully lost him. Right. What else was there? I was going to say. I can't now look at. Just an update on. Oh yes, if you haven't already signed up to our new Team Hearts website called GoVol, it's fantastic, and you register your organisation and you say a bit about yourself and everything, and then you can actually advertise roles. And if you haven't had a look at it, go and have a little look. And if you're a volunteer looking for somewhere to go, you can type in what area you want, what your interests are, how many hours you can do, and it'll match you up with an organisation doing something like that. It's really clever. Katie's, my colleague's on hand. I think she's going to come to the next Learn Together meeting to sort of talk more about it. But it's www.govol hearts.org.uk. Perhaps I shall put that in the chat as well. But it's brilliant for asking for volunteers, and if you know someone who wants to volunteer, that's a really good resource. Let me put there was a message. There we go. Let me put it down. Hearts.org.uk. So yeah, there's that. That's cool. And what else have we got? I've still been working with some partners on running a lovely diversity event in September now, and this keeps getting moved. Where it will be, we're thinking of it as a bazaar, like with all market stalls and of people showing what they do, and we're hoping to have food and music and maybe some talks, and it's aimed primarily at community groups that are working with or supporting people from Black, Asian, minority ethnic backgrounds. But that covers a heck of a lot of people. And if you have people from those backgrounds in your project as well, or you want, you know, I'm not going to turn anyone away, basically. If you want to come and join the singing and dancing event, and we're looking at early September, and I'll tell you more as I go along. Excellent. Yeah. And brilliant. Yeah, and if you know of anything, Sana, in this area, please do let us know. So we've got, I know in Letchworth we've got a Romanian community, and we've got Afro-Caribbean and various others. So again, if any of you lovely people know of any particular groups, just ping them across to me in an email, and we can make sure that they're invited. Just to raise general awareness and bring the community together even more, because together we're stronger, and that is true, really is. Heart Sports Partnership, they do their holiday activities. They'll be running something for Easter. They offer free places for children who are in receipt of free school meals. Now that also includes children who are electively home educated. I've just learned that is the term now for what we used to call homeschooled. Obviously that's changed since the pandemic. So electively home educated children who are on a lower income are still eligible for the Heart Sports Partnership activities. And also, if there's an organisation that wants to host one of those activities, you can get in touch with Heart Sports Partnership and let them know. Was there anything else? Just again to let you know, I do the regular article in the Comet, both in paper and online. I like to feature a lovely group every week. There's some of you here have already had a pitch so far. I'm looking for something to put in this week. So if anyone wants to plug anything, just their group, or if you're also looking for volunteers, or you've got an event coming up, just let me know. Great, Ray. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that would work. That would work. Yeah, so get in touch if you want me to do a bit of publicity for you in the Comet. And I'd always say to people, if you're not yet a member of NHCVS, please do. If you're North Herts based, it's just £30, and if you're in Stevenage, it's 60. And it just sort of keeps us going a bit, because we're a charity, just like lots of you. And what else was there? I think that was the main things. And so really, what is the time? Well, we've sort of got 25 minutes still. If there's anything that people wanted to ask, or ask me, or talk to each other about, or now's the time. Yeah. Any future suggestions for what you'd like to talk about at meetings? Right, shut up. Shall I play some background music while we go? Angela, thank goodness.
So this is entirely self-interested, but I would really like to hear from all groups about what actual stuff, like what equipment or items like that would be beneficial for their members to be able to borrow. We're kind of, it's stuff that you wouldn't use every day. So we're not using to sort of like, we're not aiming to sort of furnish people's homes or things like that, but just things that might be useful. For example, suggestions so far have been like ladders to cut trees, tents so your kids can go camping in the back garden over summer. Sewing machine. I want a sewing machine so I can make some cushions, but I don't want to buy the whole thing. And I'm guessing that other groups like would have all sorts of special things that might be useful. It's important that it's, you know, practical stuff, but also stuff just for fun is very important. We were at the Wellbeing Community Forum a couple of weeks ago. Lots of people wanting floor sanders and jet washers, which is marvelous. That's exactly us. But a lot of kids saying they'd like to have a go on a keyboard, and they'd like to have an easel to try painting. And so just this a ukulele, somebody wanted just to have a bash on a ukulele. So if there's anything that would be good for your members to try before they buy, that is also us. We want to be here for you in that very particular way. So
Hiya. Just to answer Angela's question, my little girl is sort of at the 5-year-old mark, so my journey so far is from like 0 to 5. But in my experience in our community, a lot of our kids, it was particularly pronounced during the pandemic, but they obviously couldn't really get to a lot of soft play. So that had a lot of physical mobility issues for us. Because sadly, my poor little girl had only just found her feet, and then the whole of the soft play centres all had to close their doors. So, you know, sort of that sort of climbing, safe balance equipment type things are usually quite good for our littlies.
see, that's so perfect, because apparently I don't have kids, but there's a whole world of backyard sort of toys, like, you know, things that you crawl through and think, you know. So yeah, Eleanor, I'm going to be in touch later on. I'm quite excited about this. Thank you.
Yeah. The other issue with those sorts of equipment as well is that most houses can't store it for very long. So, you know, while I could have potentially purchased it for my daughter, I can't store it anywhere. So it would be kind of nice to have a borrow type you know, loan it for a bit and then give it back, so it's not cluttering up my living room.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like that. Like there's the borrowing rather than buying, so you don't have to invest in it. We're looking at £2 a week per item. But also, you're right, storing all this stuff, you know, just, you know, everybody's trying to declutter, and if you've got water that you use once a year or something like that. So yes, absolutely. Oh, I'm excited to make the connection. Thanks for doing this, Lee.
Oh, there we are. Sorry, I was like, great. No problem at all. But Paul, did you have your hand up, or if you're just waving? That's fine. So...
No, all I wanted to say quickly, really, first of all, apologies for coming and going. I've got a mixture between stuff going on in the hub and a dodgy internet connection, so apologies for that. And I know I'll miss some stuff. All I was going to say really quickly, and you might have already covered this previous meetings, Agatha and I have done a piece of work together, quite informally really, where she managed to tap into a tiny bit of funding and we did. And we put together a package of things we could do in Stevenage and Letchworth, where I had a space and access to refreshments and a group of people, and Agatha had access to professionals who deliver alternative therapies. We just brought that together really quickly, just based on trust, no agreement signed or anything. We just did a piece of work, and it's just coming to an end now. What I feel quite strongly is that we've got the potential ability between us, if we can just think widely enough and trust each other, to tap into maybe some slightly more significant packages of funding where each individually we just don't have the turnover even to be looked at, and maybe tap into some money that lets us do something a bit more holistic and joined up. I mean, that thing about the Integrated Care Act and all of that sounds brilliant. I'm an old cynic at this point in my life, and I'd love to see it work, but I'm not confident. But I think it's stuff that we can do if we step out of our, I mean, we're pretty good already, but I think we can be better at it, and I think we have to. And at that point, I'll stop. But just to float that around and say, we're a tiny organisation, but our whole ethos is just about moving people along a continuum of well-being from wherever they are now to a better place. And we'll work with anyone for any reason if that's the outcome. So it's just open to conversations from anyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, and well said. And certainly, if you're doing a project and you think you know there's another project doing something similar, or just talk to each other. The funding is there's money out there for sure, but if you get 2 or 3 organisations who come together and put in a collaborative bid, has a much better chance. So certainly Sue and Alan from Tilehouse have done just that in Hitchin, haven't you?
From Tilehouse, we didn't have a project, but we had a little bit of money, and Hitchin Youth Trust had lots of money. So we got together and brought on board all the charities who deliver mental health, all the service providers in Hitchin, to do a recovery programme for the students who had to go back to school or refused to go to school or had any raft of issues. So we got together, and because we were strong in numbers, we all applied, or on Rotary applied on the group's behalf, and we got significant funding, and I mean significant, and we're still going on, and we got this 2 years ago, and we're still going, and we're still delivering counselling and one-to-one. And we did the same with the food provision. We got all the food providers in Hitchin together, and again we applied to the big lotteries, North Herts Council, many providers, and got significant money. Safety in numbers. We had so many service providers, so many professionals who could deliver stuff. Rotary can't, but we are good at applying for it. We've got a trusted name, but we can't deliver stuff like the professionals did. So use Rotary.
I think that's brilliant, Sue. The other thing, just quickly, Lee, I don't want to put you on the spot, but when I ran the little CVS in St Albans, one of the things we were trying to do was to be a catalyst for this, particularly for the very small organisations. Do you think there's an appetite in North Herts CVS to kind of be the honest broker within that? Because there's something, what I know about this stuff is it works if people genuinely trust each other agree what they're trying to achieve, and then say, we'll assume the best of each other and we'll make mistakes and we'll get it wrong and we'll misunderstand, but we won't then run off with that and take our football home. There's something about if someone can sit in the middle of that and kind of draw that together, maybe talking to Rotary too. So if you're up for that.
Yeah, I think that's where Rotary sits, that honest broker, if you like. That's exactly where we sit. No one can use our funds. We're all dual controlled. We've got a committee of 12 people who govern us. We've got 70 members. So it's a trusted organisation. So when we put our name on something, as Alan will attest, we got money from the big lotteries rather more easily than maybe we thought. We didn't have to jump through so many hoops, you know, and we got it twice. So I think that's absolutely right. But you need that trusted brand. And with the greatest respect, a little group who hasn't jumped through the hoops of charitable status, may have got a CIC, but certainly would like to be a charity, but they actually aren't. There is the help for them is low. You know, there is not a lot of things, but if you club together, magic.
I wonder then whether, just to throw it on the table, and then I'll promise I'll shut up, is if you could get Rotary in the room and CVS in the room in terms of the practical bringing together of organisations to have the conversation, and an initial conversation that literally says, what do we want to do? Who do we want to do it for? And how could we all contribute to that goal? And then look at how you could tap into the kind of money that leaves you with the least constraints. One of the things I'm aware of, the projects we run are often very tightly constrained in terms of what they expect you to achieve. And I think also working together, you can tap into funders who maybe are prepared to be a bit broader and say, look, these are the outcomes we need, but we're not going to define how you achieve it. At that point, I'll stop, but it's out there, and I'm more than happy to come to that if there's the appetite.
Thank you, Paul. Absolutely, in my mind, this is what North Herts Stevenage CVS is here for, and I'm desperately trying to get more people to come along to gatherings like this, and to just keep in touch, and yeah, just do that. Bring, link those people up. I mean,
if I'm totally honest, when we pulled together the Hitchin Mental Health Recovery Team, we didn't get as many people as we liked. However, once they knew there was funding and we were good at it, we got a lot more people on board. And I know that sounds quite mercenary, but actually they're only looking after their end users. They want to help. So actually, once people know that they can tap into some funding, they know that it's going to help the people they care about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's yeah. I'm all up for that, for sure, bringing people together. I mean, when I get a new project or someone come along and talk to me who wants to set something up, I'll always immediately try and link them up with other people doing something similar or whatever, because I see us as pieces of a big puzzle, and we're all very important. If a piece is missing, there's a hole, so we've got to fill those holes, and well, you're all doing a flipping amazing job.
Can I just say,
go on, Ray.
The problem is that so to the sort of project I run, the history of them is they do really well for about 3 years, and then they crash and burn because they can't get grant funding. And that's why we decided that we would go down the social enterprise route, because it's the only way you can really guarantee that you're self-sufficient. The problem with people like us, for example, getting big grants. So if we suddenly dropped for a really big grant, that'd be great, but then you would use it to build and grow. Your overheads would grow with it. Your commitment would grow with it. And what if you didn't get that sort of grant money ever again? You would then contract and shrink and all that. So, we've benefited hugely from grant money, but I think it's really useful as well to think about a trading arm rather than just relying on them, because you can't. So I think Paul's idea has got a lot of mileage in it, because it seems to be if you want big money, you've got to have big credibility. and you've got to demonstrate, you know, that it's a strong project that's sustainable, and you've got other people on board with you. I think just applying you yourself just for pots of money, yes, you'll get them, but they'll always be quite small, I would imagine. I may be wrong, but that's my 2 pence.
Thank you, Ray. I mean, you're right. But, you know, I think I've been with you from the start, almost, in terms of helping with point funding and stuff. And you know, many projects start off small, as did you. It's just your success has just gone through the roof, and you're looking at world domination now. So obviously you've got a very different perspective to perhaps say Angela, who's just, you know, at that small grant stage. Although and it's all fine. We have to work whatever suits us, and as you know, we get the perspective of, right, yeah, we're going to need more money to keep this going. And then if you have a brilliant idea by having a sidearm, like Letchworth Centre for Healthy Living have a what's the word? I can't remember the word. Not corporate. They have an arm where they can make money through their sort of you know, their weddings and stuff like that, which supports the rest of it. And of course, Growing People have been going for a long time, but yes, it's about keep talking to each other. I know our first Learn Together meeting we had in November, we had can't remember the lady's name, but from the National Lottery Community Trust, and who was specifically about grants of 10k and over. So, you know, if there's any mileage, if anyone's thinking, right, you know, at least even between us, we want to go something like that, we can quite easily get her to come and talk to us again, or you know. So yes, it's all possible, and there are always ways around these things. So thank you, Ray. It's really good to have all these different perspectives. I was just wondering, is there a Letchworth Letchworth Rotary? Yeah, Sue's nodding.
Yeah, there is, but then maybe not as active as us, but they are worth talking to.
Right.
I think there's 2 actually. I will pick the details.
That would be wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. As we know, that Letchworth Heritage Foundation do support a lot of things. I think, Ray, they're helping you, aren't they?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
And that's specifically Letchworth based, but I will share any funding opportunities that I get hold of, and I've been playing around with our YouTube channel and doing the odd little recording of just listing what's available. So if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel yet, please do. I think it's just NH and Stevenage CVS, but again, I can send you the links again. Yes, I think I've still only got a grand total of 9 subscribers at the moment, but I shall keep, you know, rattling on about it. But it's all, again, if you're thinking, right, I need funding for that, you know, you could maybe have a look and see because I get one every Friday. I get a bulletin for funding. And there's a Baldock Rotary, very active. Yes. Now I think Aman is part of that. She's Becca nodding, yeah, and she's also, she did pop in and then went off again. Aman Dillon, she's the equality and diversity person for the Letchworth Arts and Leisure Group, but she's also Baldock Rotary. She's something else. She's a very, very busy, amazing woman.
Baldock Rotary are really good, very, very active, because they're in your face, so they're great ones to tap into.
Brilliant. Right, I shall have a word with
the Rotary are quite localised, so it may be that we wouldn't help someone in Letchworth because there's a Letchworth Rotary Club. But Rotary is world over, so yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So, how are we doing? It's 5211. Is there anything else anyone wants to mention, or I'm always happy for feedback of any kind. I'll take things on board. If
Can I just ask Sue? Sorry, Sue Watkinson. Do the Rotaries hook up at all? Do you sort of chat to each other?
Yeah, we have our president goes to a Broadway group where all Letchworth, Hitchin, Baldock all go together.
Okay.
Swap things. If like Hitchin branch, the other Hitchin Rotary group, there's 3 in Hitchin just to confuse things, are doing some pancakes. They ask us if we will help and vice versa. So yeah, they do join up. The social care projects that Rotary in my club, Hitchin Tilehouse, are doing, the other local clubs aren't doing that at the moment. But that's not to say if you went with them, you went with a project to them, that they would. I mean, we were doing work putting water filtration systems in Haiti. So we work with the Rotary Club in Haiti. It is worldwide. Right. So if you've got a project and it's not in your area, Alan or I can find the person to talk to. But they are great because they've got such a good reputation.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you. Yes, Sue, at some point, I'd love to have a chat with you and find out more about history of Rotary and stuff like that. I'll have to drop you an email. I mean, you can make it up. I wouldn't know. So
yeah,
that's fine.
I think probably talk to Alan.
Alan, okay.
He's Rotary through and through. I've only done 12 years. I'm still quite new.
Oh, yes, only 12 years. Okay. Just finally, then I wanted to check how I send out emails. I also will sometimes use this MailChimp tool and send things out that way. Now, if anyone has received those from me, are they useful, or would you just prefer an email? Has anyone had everyone's do you hear from me enough about things or too much? Be honest now. I
prefer emails.
Me too.
Yeah.
I must say, I like the personal touch of an email. I must say, MailChimp is okay, and it does the job. It gets around people it needs to, but I like the personal touch of an email.
Yeah, Scout agrees. Yeah. Okay. Well, like I say, I'm always happy to hear from you. So please do keep in touch. If anything comes up you're not sure about, I'm probably I'll know someone who knows something about something, which is how it works, which is fantastic. Our next Learn Together is of an evening. It's on Wednesday, the 30th of March, and it's at 7 p.m. So I'm just trying to, open it up to people who perhaps can't come along in the day. So you don't have to come. It will be recorded, and so you can watch it back. And if you think of anything you'd like us to specifically talk about, then again, drop me a line. Do sign up for the Tuesday, the 8th of March, the NHS ICS thing. I'll send details. And thank you for coming and spending this hour with me. And it's lovely to see you all. See you all soon. Take care.
Thanks, Lee.
Okay,
nice to see you,
thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye all.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Sorry, my camera's broken now.
Oh.
Bye.
It's
Say
fine.
bye. Say bye-bye.